Morning. Welcome again to our thought for the day. I want to read you a verse from Genesis chapter 42 and verse 36. And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and he will take away Benjamin. All these things seem against me. It's part 2 this morning of what we spoke about yesterday. And the heading is simply a word for those who feel everything is against them. And I'm sure that there have been many days in your life, in my life, and until Jesus comes, there will be many more when we feel that everything and everyone is against us. We concluded our thought yesterday by saying that Jacob had reached one of the darkest days of his life. But this morning, the great news is that Jacob was totally unaware of what God was doing behind the scenes. And when everything seems to be going wrong, remember, friends, even though you may not know it, God is doing something behind the scenes. I want to tell you that God is forever moving behind the scenes for you and for me. You see, he thought that Joseph had been slain, but Joseph was the prime minister of Egypt. Isn't it amazing what God does and how he does it? He thought that Simeon was in some dirty prison cell, but the most powerful man in Egypt was Simeon's friend. He shrunk in horror of the loss of Benjamin, but his brother's heart was aching to throw his arms around about him. I want to tell you this morning, friends, that the most powerful word, not in Egypt, but the most powerful word, a person in heaven and earth, is your friend and mine. Jesus is on our side, and we cannot fail when Christ is within. The victory is ours. Things had never seemed darker to Jacob. There was no light at the end of the tunnel, and yet the truth was, far from being the darkest hour, soon it would be the brightest morning in his existence. And I want you always to remember, friends, that in our darkest shadows, in our darkest times, Jesus is always there. We used to sing an old chorus, and it simply said this: standing somewhere in the shadows, you find Jesus. He's the only one who cares and understands. Standing somewhere in the shadows, you will find him, and you'll know him by the nail prints in his hands. And I want to tell you, friends, this morning, he cares and he understands for you. And the nail-pierced hands of Jesus are there to support you and to be all that you need. He knows what you were going through. Remember in chapter 32 and verse 26, where we read that Jacob wrestled with the angel and he said, I will not let thee go except thou bless me. You see, the trouble is very often we let go when we should be holding on. Don't let go this morning. Hold on to Christ, and he will be your strength and your support. And Jacob didn't realize that all these things that seemingly was against him were working for him. And the outcome was far from losing a son, for now he would find his son, and all his sons and family would be brought back to him. And all the hidden lies and the wrongdoing was brought into the light. Friends, can I remind you today that never mind who or what is against us, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Keep trusting. Even when the way seems black, even when the way seems impossible, for Christ is our light, and he alone is the one who can do the impossible. Trust him, prove him today, for he cannot fail.